Hello everyone, I'm Shannon SLATTON in New Hope. Here's a look at a few of the stories making the news today. Although there was no playbook for the election in 2020, election staff knew a year ago that this season would be a big one.
Presidential elections are huge, and we do start preparing like November of the year preceding the election itself.
But then COVID-19 hit, and election staff started preparing in ways they'd never done before.
We have installed plexiglass here at the information counter.
We're supplying masks, lots of extension cords to be able to spread everything out.
We are, of course, encouraging the social distancing. We will have hand sanitizer. We will be disinfecting the voting booths.
Because of the COVID environment that we're in today, so we're offering the curbside voting.
Curbside voting isn't new, but cities like Brooklyn Park promoted it more as a way people could vote without coming inside the building. In some cities, like Maple Grove, staff moved voting to larger rooms so people could spread out.
We are in the council chambers to allow for the social distancing.
Maple Grove also used a trailer from the fire department to collect mail-in ballots for people who would rather return the ballot in person.
And people just walk up, we verify their information is correct, and then we send them on their way.
Staff members expect to move 1,000 people a day through the lines during early voting until Election Day.
So it has definitely been some extra work, but those of us that work in elections truly love the process. We love the people, we love the excitement, and so for us this is just kind of like Christmas. We really are enjoying it.
Over in Plymouth, staff rented a tent so voters could vote in the fresh air. It stayed up from September 18th until the early October snowstorm.
It didn't matter where they wanted to be. We just wanted people to feel comfortable, because I just think, words and actions really matter.
Clerk Sandy ENGDAHL says it's been extra work, but it's been worth it.
That's, I think, our goal at the end of the day, is to make sure everybody has a chance to vote and they can feel safe and well doing it.
And lines here show people want to vote. When early voting opened in Plymouth, turnout was already above 55%.
It's gratifying to me because I spend my whole year planning this, and I love it when people turn out to vote. I just love it.
Here we have our service station area. All of our services are done away from the retail area and away from the public, so you've got a bit of privacy.
It's always a good day when there's economic hope.
The reaction has been so positive. We've been so grateful.
Especially when there's a global pandemic.
We are an efficient and effective facial bar.
Face Foundry, a facial care business, recently expanded to the shops at Arbor Lakes in Maple Grove.
I have to attribute our expansion process to our staff is extremely dedicated and passionate, and our customers are so fantastic. They've been super loyal. During the time we had to shut down, they believed in us. They purchase products online.
Confident that the holiday season will bring more business, Henry says the first few days have already been a hit.
Through isolation, let's face it, you really come out needing self-care and needing that kind of physical touch and that moment of just peace.
Within walking distance from Face Foundry, the owner of Grey Duck Games and Toys says he's also optimistic about the holiday season coming up.
The holiday surge has kind of already started. I'm seeing a lot of people coming in here and they're thinking about Christmas already, which is different than years past.
Jordan LAHR expects people will dodge the holiday rush by shopping early this year.
I'm actually seeing adults splurge for something that they wouldn't normally.
Even before the holiday months, LAHR says it's been tough to keep puzzles and board games on the shelves because more families are now home.
The I Am puzzles actually are really cool because they don't have a border. It's not like a square. It's actually the outline of the animal, and it would look exactly like that when you put it together.
He says people are realizing how board games can positively impact one's mental well-being.
If you can get your mind off of work or the internet for a whole day, that would be great.
In Maple Grove, Pafua Yang, CCX News.
It doesn't matter what your disability is. What matters most is who you are, from inside and the outside, who you are.
From that perspective, every day starts out as a good day for Antonio Vasquez. The 15-year-old has spina bifida and was on hand at the LILLIANA Health Courage Kenny Rehabilitation Center in Golden Valley for the Hartford Company's donation of equipment to the sports programs that he enjoys there.
One day, we want everybody to be recognized for their abilities, not their disabilities.
Antonio has an ability as well as passion for basketball.
Today, we'd like to announce a $40,000 grant.
And the equipment he uses doesn't come cheap, but on this day, he doesn't know that he's going to get a very important piece of equipment for a wheelchair basketball player.
I would like to say, congratulations, Antonio. You were selected as an athlete to get your very own sports chair.
Antonio's mom should get an award for being able to keep a secret.
Honestly, wholeheartedly, I'm speechless, and I'm sure he is. I had to keep it a secret for 3 months.
Thank you very much for this wonderful gift. For my disability, that I never gave up, even though my disability, that I don't let that stop me from living life.
And as soon as the speeches were finished, Antonio couldn't wait to start living life in his new chair on the basketball court.
I very enjoy basketball very much, and the team. I get to see my friends from the past.
Antonio just turned 15 and recently moved up to being part of the Rolling Gophers.
He loved to shoot. He had a really nice, soft, sweet touch shooting, but didn't really have a passion per se that I have for defense.
Seeing people with no legs still playing basketball, that inspired me a lot.
In his new chair, Antonio looks to encourage others to never give up their passions. In Golden Valley, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
We are already in week 5 of a 6-game regular season for most prep football teams. Maple Grove was looking to bounce back from a loss in their latest game.
Football rivals Maple Grove and Osseo meeting for the 30th time in the all-time series, leading 3-0 in the second quarter. Maple Grove near the goal line, and the handoff goes to quarterback turned fullback Nate Elmes. It's a 2-yard touchdown, and Maple Grove leads 10-0. Later in the second, Crimson sophomore quarterback Jacob Kilzer is flushed out of the pocket, but he finds a wide-open Demarion McCoy downfield. It's the first catch of the season for the junior, a 65-yard scoring play, and the Crimson are up 17-0 at the half. Third quarter, and the Crimson get their running game going thanks in part to some good blocking. Derek Jamison has great speed too, and he races 35 yards for a touchdown. Maple Grove now leads 24-0. After an Osseo turnover, the Crimson go back to work, and Elmes has a big hole up the middle to run through. It's a 29-yard touchdown run. Elmes and Jamison each rush for over 90 yards as Maple Grove goes on to beat Osseo 31-7. After the game, Elmes talked about his new position.
It's really a nice transition, especially my senior year too. You know, I'm really enjoying having a little different taste of football because I've grown up all my life playing quarterback, and being able to be running back, fullback, and being able to ground and pound is really a lot of fun.
Providence Academy football at home to take on St. Anthony. First quarter, and Ethan Montgomery powers in for a 2-yard touchdown, and the Lions lead 7-0. Second quarter, and Lions quarterback Aiden Lampy with a play-action pass. He finds Mark McCarthy open. The junior tight end goes 35 yards for a touchdown, put Providence ahead 14-0 at halftime. But the Huskies come back in the third quarter. Trailing 14-6, watch the great throw and catch. Caden Rodkowicz to Joe Randall for a touchdown. Try for 2 fails, but St. Anthony is down just 14-12. Fourth quarter, Rodkowicz goes deep again. But this time, the Lions' Sean Allerheiligen is there to intercept the pass and stop the Huskies at the 25-yard line. And it sets up a Providence touchdown. Montgomery takes the handoff, and he has room to go 35 yards for a score. The Lions win their first game of the season. 21-12 Providence Academy is the final.
Hopkins and Armstrong's originally scheduled October 16th football game was moved to last Friday. Jason Malillo has highlights from a high-scoring contest.
On a pretty nice night for football, Armstrong hosting Hopkins. And it couldn't start any better for the Falcons. A bouncing opening kickoff is fielded by Jordan McClom. He weaves his way through the Hopkins defenders, gets outside, and is gone 75 yards to the end zone. Armstrong quickly up 7-0. It's McClom's second kickoff return touchdown of the season. Later in the first quarter, Armstrong pinned on its own 3-yard line, but Caleb Jones gets loose and sprints all the way to the Hopkins 26-yard line. It's a 71-yard run for Jones. Second quarter, Armstrong's Mac Olson brings the pressure, and McClom makes a big play again as the junior gets the interception and runs it back 52 yards for another score, getting a big block from Drew Kemple, and it's 21-7. The Royals respond. JT Zell with a really nice fake, and then he takes off 21 yards to the end zone for a Hopkins touchdown, cutting the lead to 21-14. But on the last play of the first half, Malone rolls out and connects with Eustace McGowan, a great catch by the junior receiver for a 15-yard touchdown, and the Falcons up 27-14 at halftime. Hopkins scores in the third quarter, but early in the fourth, Malone goes up top to Caden College, and he hauls it in for a 30-yard touchdown. And then Armstrong gets another defensive touchdown as Samuel Knowles strips Zell, and Cade Kemple recovers for a Falcons score, and they go on to win 47-21. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
For more stories like this, please go to our website at ccxmedia.org.